All right. We are back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Folks, we are talking about something tonight that I have not talked about in quite a while. And joining me tonight is someone new over here, Mr. Tim Bischoff. Thank you for thank you for welcoming. Jesus, I am tired. Thank you for joining me tonight. Say hi to everyone.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, so we're going to be talking some NXT TakeOver Portland from last night. And one of the main reasons I'm bringing in Tim for this is he messaged me late last night from the West Coast and says, "Hey, I just got home from NXT." And I was like, "Really? You were there?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, he's like, "Yeah, if you want to review it and get a first person, like, side of things for a review, let me know." And I was like, the show is pretty damn good. I gotta say that. Just overall, general, your thoughts on being there live.
All right. So what I would tell you, J-Bone, is everything, seemed just to get to the exciting part. It was super loud. So it was super participative. So that was killer.
Was that place full?
Yes. Yes. For some reason, they don't have the 300 level of that Coliseum. Or I should say the Moda Center. They don't have the Moda Center stacked up at the 300 level. But outside of that, every seat that was available to sell looked full to me.
Oh, okay. So it's a 3-tier place.
Yeah.
And the third tier, they didn't have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, the place was deafening. And I'm gonna be critical here for a minute before we jump into the meat and potatoes of this. And I just want to remind people that I usually don't talk about NXT is because I feel like even though the wrestling's good and some of the rivalries are good, they have got to get out of Full Sail. And I know the comparison I'm going to give is going to be very controversial, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I don't care. But it's basically becoming TNA from a few years ago when they're stuck down in Florida. You get the same people, the same crowd. You could have some dude landing on the barriers, dying, and the people in the front row are like this. And there's no reason for people to be acting like that in the front row when there's like all this chaos going on in front of you. And it makes it very difficult to watch. But that being said, when they put on a show like this and they're in this kind of atmosphere, that makes me want to watch because it's got a lot of people that I still love as wrestlers, like Keith Lee, local guy from around here, Tommaso Ciampa, one of Milwaukee's finest in the last few decades. And, I will put him up there with names like Aries and Punk from Chi-Town and stuff like that. I feel like he's that damn good. He represents the area very well. And other women that look that are starting to catch my eye, like Bianca Belair. Like a year ago, I didn't feel like she was ready. Now I feel like she's starting to come into her own. But yeah, for me to like watch it on a regular basis, they've got to get out of there. I don't care if they play smaller arenas like AEW. They need that kind of atmosphere to catch people's eyes. Because if you got people sitting in the front row picking their nose, and checking their phones, it absolutely kills the people watching from this end. You know, what do you think about that?
I agree. I unfortunately, where I was sitting, there was someone that was actually on their phone, and we all gave him a hard. We all gave him a hard time because we heard him say, a certain name, and then exactly, and we just yelled the name out, and he's like, "Oh, I better let you go." It's like, come on, man, you're paying how much for this?
Oh, no kidding. It's like, turn the phone off, enjoy the experience. Like, if you're that bored, it's like, I understand if you're at home and you got a lot of stuff going on around you,
Right.
you just kind of have wrestling on the background and you're on your phone once in a while. But man, if you're there for the live experience, be there for the live experience. We got a few viewers on board. I know I'm not going to get many tonight because they're like, oh, he's reviewing NXT. What a Judas. I've been called a Judas in the past before because I've been so loyal to this, that, and the other thing that I've reviewed on here on a regular basis. But you know what? I'm a wrestling fan, okay? First and foremost. You go back 6 years of my channel, I guarantee you 90% of it is going to be WWE. So, but nonetheless, let's say hello to a few people in here. Elijah Washington, what is up? J-Bone Keith Lee is a star. I'd be mad if Vince don't see him as a world champion. He is the modern day Dusty and Mark Henry, but good in the ring like Vader. Yeah, he's very talented. He is one of the few that I love to watch because he's about as real as it gets. When he starts talking, man, he's just smooth, We got Ronnie in here. What is up? Long time no see. Hey, J-Bone, hope you're doing well. We are alive and we are breathing. That's first and foremost, right? Let's see here. J-Bone showing us how fabulous he is. I am not that fabulous, let me tell you. No, I am. I'll jokingly say that walking around my house, like I am 45, fat and fabulous, and that's about as glorious as that goes. All right, just talking to Trent about the show later. So we're going to be talking about this for about the next hour or less. And let's dive right into this. There was no like super crazy match heavy pre-show.
Nope.
Now, the pre-show was mainly for like the people at home. Could the audience hear Sam Roberts and Mansoor talking?
I love you asking me that, and I wish I could say that I was there right at the pre-show. We got there right as Poppy left the stage, and I was like,
Oh, perfect timing. I miss Poppy too, so we don't have to talk about her. So, and I always love, if anybody knows my channel and as I get to know you and you get to know me better, you'll understand that I love music, and I love a lot of different kinds of music. So, I'll probably check out the pre-show at some point, but I've certainly heard a lot about her, but I can't really say much about her just from hearing one or two songs. She certainly is different, but she certainly does fit into that NXT family because, man, I saw her costume on stage. Wow, that was like straight out of the 90s. That was wild. So there was, she looked like a character all on her own. All right, so we are talking about NXT TakeOver Portland, Oregon 2020. We start out with the North American Championship being on the line from champion Keith Lee defending against Dominic. Are you good at saying his last name? Because I don't want to botch it up.
I know I can say Javakovic or Kovic.
Dominic, close enough. Close. We'll just say Dominic, or we could say Double D or whatever. I don't know.
I like it.
That's a little weird. Maybe we'll stick with Dominic. People start thinking I'm talking about myself over here. All right. These two have gone at it in the Indies, and this is what I think is the first time they get to be on a stage this big, showing people their talents. And I've seen a few of their matches together, and they never disappoint. In fact, I think Keith Lee's last match in the Indies was against Dominic. I wish I could remember his indie name, but man, they made his last name so like difficult. I don't know if that's his real name or not. Your thoughts on this match?
Man, let me tell you, it was definitely a nail biter. Like you said, they meant business, and that was huge for the audience. You could tell that, if anyone thought, I apologize, but I'm just going to say it. If anyone thought that Keith Lee was this fat Kool-Aid boy, they were totally wrong, because this guy used his 300 pounds, but he could move like Brock. I mean, he was fast.
Oh, yeah, they are very fast. I mean, they're not pulling off moves like, say, a big guy like, just for example, Brian Cage. But they are both incredibly athletic and have a ton of chemistry. This is not going to be the last time these guys face off. And I felt like, and I missed part of the end of this match. I know Keith Lee came out on top. The fact that a beat up Dominic was raised up on the corner ropes by Keith Lee.
Oh, geez.
To help him celebrate. I mean.
Oh, right. Yeah, at the very end. I did not expect that.
No, I mean, I didn't feel like there was a main. I mean, then granted, I haven't been watching on a regular basis, but I didn't feel like there was like a big time heel going into this. No one was getting booed. The crowd was hot.
Right.
Everybody was just appreciating the match in front of him. It was on fire. These two big guys just clobbering the hell out of each other.
Did you see? Just wanted to ask, J-Bone, did you see when he was on the top rope and dived, and his opponent Keith Lee was in the chair and he nailed him?
And he did the swanton between the two desks.
Yes.
Yes. One of the highlights of this match. Thank you for bringing that up, because I forgot it. I listened to a couple of podcasts today talking about it, and that is one of the main points that they talked about this. The precision.
Oh, it's crazy. He's 6'7".
Yeah, of a 6'7" guy, top rope, to dive to the outside to his right. It's not like he was just going straight on.
Right.
He had to dive like 10 feet to his right or whatever it was.
Right.
And on an angle diagonally and land on Keith Lee. Oh my God. Yeah, that was probably one of the best moves of the entire night, to just, oh God. It's moves like that remind you of, like, Undertaker diving over the top rope outside to swantoning on top of Shawn Michaels, stuff like that. Big guys are not supposed to do stuff like that.
No.
But nowadays, bigger guys are, just because everyone keeps feeling like they got to step the game up. But nonetheless, this was just a tremendous first match, and it was a big statement of follow that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can I ask or add something super quick?
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
So it was so cool. Did you see when he climbed up the turnbuckle and Dominic, I want to know the name of the move. I remember I'm not, but basically it's like they were both standing up on the turnbuckle and then they launched and did this kind of thing.
Spanish
fly.
Yeah. Two guys doing 6 foot whatever, top rope, Spanish fly. Good night. That's just crazy. Yeah. Insane. Another highlight. Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out.
Oh, no problem.
So Keith Lee retains, and that's why I brought you in here. So Keith Lee retains. Oh yeah, here. Excuse me. Roman Reigns does a new suicide dive. Yeah, he does that. He does that flying over the top.
Oh, right. Yeah.
A lot now, which is always, play it back slow mo. It looks the guy's got a lot more grace than people forget he has. But yeah, Keith Lee retains his title. Tremendous amount of sportsmanship shown at the end of the match, giving both guys a chance to raise their hands for just a job well done in the ring.
Dominic was this close from pinning. He had about 3 opportunities that were nail biting. Everyone was like, that was 3.
Oh, yeah. A lot of close calls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right. We continue here. And the action just doesn't slow down here. It's just on 10 here. We've got a street fight between Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox. Now, I became a fan of Tegan Knox about 3 years ago, watching a little site called Flow Slam. And I happened to see one of her last matches in a little company called Lucha Forever featured on there. And I'm not sure if that show is still online. It might be. It might be hard to find. It was a great package deal for what it was, as long as it was around for about a year. But yeah, that was, from what I know, that was like her last Indies match. And then she got to NXT and had just an unfortunate series of events that kept her from showing off her talents to the world. So this, and she might have had some other matches, and I'm not going to say she hasn't, but I haven't seen, whenever she was allowed a chance to be out there and do something, it was snuffed out, unfortunately, really quickly by an injury. So this was about the first time that I could really see her just go out there and just kick some ass. These 2 girls, oh my God, dude. Your thoughts on this just train wreck of a match?
Oh, man, it was awesome. It was a street fight. Yeah, super excited. It really helped, because I think you would agree. I think some of these people, it would be, more lesser unknowns. Not like, oh, well, I know Charlotte Flair, she's not in NXT, obviously, but actually I'll zip because we won't say anything. But so what I was saying is I really enjoyed the, video package that led to the War Games and her turning on her and doing the damage she did. It really, just being totally real with you, J-Bone, it went from this is going to be interesting to they're going to show this. This will be a great match.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, for a guy like me who hasn't been keeping up with it, I'm glad they put these little things in there and be like, okay, I'm coming in with a fresh opinion, starting from nothing. The card looks good. They're in what hopefully will be a hot house. It's, a hot crowd. So yeah, it's great that they throw these little package deals in there to remind us why we're here, why they're doing this, why we should care. So yeah, that is important that they do that for a bunch of these, and some, depending on who it is on a certain event, sometimes you don't even need that. Sometimes it's just, hey, we know this person, they're going to kill each other, we're going to sit back and enjoy it. That's all you need.
Right.
But this was nice because I hadn't seen Tegan Knox in a long time, so that was good.
I was going to ask or add something.
Oh, go ahead. Yes, please.
This literally was magic. It was crazy. We all know out there that wrestling's fan interaction. It just, it's a game. We got to give them a ideas. So anyway, long story short, I knew it was a street fight. The crowd got quiet, so it was perfect. And I said, "We want tables." And I'm not kidding. 10 seconds later, they pull a table out. I was like, oh my gosh. And so my nephews were like, "You're the man." And then the crowd turns and goes, "You did that?" And I was like, I don't know what happened. I'm happy they got the table.
They heard you from way up there.
I know. In the nosebleeds. No, I wasn't
awesome.
nosebleed, but definitely not front row.
Right. But that's it doesn't matter where, hopefully it's a good seat in the house, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, we've got a scumbag
No way.
in the house. What is up?
We love you, scumbag.
Oh, wait, maybe that's not him. Is that him?
I don't know.
No, that's not.
Oh, no.
Oh, different Kyle? Did I screw that up?
I guess it's okay, though. He loves your Smash This podcast.
It's someone else. I saw Kyle and got all excited. I apologize. But thank you for joining, Kyle.
Yeah.
We awkwardly continue. But yeah, these two women just clobbered the hell out of each other. It looked like it was all but done. Looked like Tegan was going to absolutely destroy and finish the career of Dakota Kai.
Yeah. I mean, I'm supposed to be unbiased.
And she had the chair wrapped around her neck on the table.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, this is going to end really ugly. And then out of nowhere, we get the debut. Hang on, I wrote it down here.
Good.
Raquel Gonzalez debuts. And
she came from, just to give you some more in case you need it, she came from the Mae Young Classic.
Oh, she was in there. Okay.
Yes.
That is good to know. So developmental.
Yeah.
So they hired her after that. That's good. And or maybe she was in there before that. I don't know. But nonetheless, we hadn't seen her yet. So this was her official debut. She's a big girl, and that's not an insult. It's just she's, twice the size of these girls in the ring. And she basically saved
Dakota Kai, you're right.
Dakota Kai. And Dakota Kai looking surprised, like, whoa, who is this? What just happened? I was supposed to die,
Right.
And Tegan Knox took a really ugly bump. It was supposed to be through the table. The table won that match.
Yeah.
It's hopefully she's okay. She's been through enough stuff. But yeah, Dakota Kai comes out with a win here, has her hand raised by Raquel Gonzalez. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of her in the future.
Yeah. If I can just say something about that table.
Yes.
We just took so much pride when they grabbed it and just, moved it from here to here. But when it made its final destination, and I'm like, oh gosh, I know what's happening. And it didn't break. We all knew that they got injured. I mean, that's bad.
Yeah. And no matter is like whether you're selling it or you're legit, you legit feel like dying after a bump like that. She, Tegan Knox they zoomed in on her and she's just crumbled there, head propped up against the table, and from at home and even from up in the nosebleeds, both sites were ugly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Dakota Kai wins, and we got a new duo going on with the ladies in NXT. All right, we continue here. We got Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano, and it feels like this Finn Balor is slowly getting back to his, oh yes, look, there it is, folks, the Bullet Club. There was a reason for him wearing that.
Yeah.
No reason for me wearing this. I'm just a I'm just a hippie. Uh,
No, J-Bone, they were full of poison that night.
yeah, right. The heels are poisonous. And I'm apologizing. I don't have a lot to offer as far as input on this one because, and it's not for lack of boredom, but I was dozing off during this match. That's just my chemistry. After dinner, I snooze off a little bit no matter what I'm watching. So it's no insult to these guys. They were killing it for what I stayed awake for. Every time I opened up my eyes, somebody was getting drilled with something. But your thoughts on Finn Balor versus Gargano?
Ooh. The only thing that would have been cooler is him, going out as the demon, just to see his, mind how it clicks. Like, oh, I'm the demon now, and you've hit me hard, but I'm going to retaliate. No, this was awesome. Literally, it was, because Johnny Gargano, everyone knew him as the good guy, the face, and Balor. Everyone knows him as a face, but in this match, he had no problem kind of doing some heel stuff. And I think what was really cool, man, and if you get a chance to just like go over it again, you'll really like this part. It was really submission heavy, and a lot of hard chops. And a lot of reversals.
Yeah. I always appreciate good limb work, like old school grappling, taking the arm, taking the leg. Are they going to tap, wrenching it? And it's beating down your opponent so that they can't do their finisher is usually what the classic thing is. So, yeah, I always appreciate stuff like that. Yeah. Absolutely. It's storytelling. It's old school storytelling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll go back and watch this because there's a couple of points I know I missed throughout this match. But yeah, Finn Balor came out with a win here. Still kind of new, back in town as far as the NXT brand. Certainly putting his stamp on the roster saying, hey, I'm back and you guys need to, be careful. So, a rare loss for Johnny Gargano. He's had a lot of wins. Super popular. We see something a little different later. We'll get into that.
I know exactly. We'll hold that one
off. We won't spoil it here. Well, it's like if you're watching me, I hope you watched it, but nonetheless.
Yeah. True.
So next, we continue the momentum in this just nerve-wracking show, and I mean that as a compliment. We got the NXT Women's, just checking the time, NXT Women's Championship on the line. What are the? She hasn't been champion for very long. She just beat Baszler, so this is her first defense, I think.
I want to say you're right because she just beat Shayna Baszler,
and that was at
it was at TakeOver
Royal Rumble weekend.
I'd have to rewatch, but I was pretty sure it was a UK TakeOver because I know Rhea came from NXT UK, and they, for whatever reason, branded her in NXT.
Okay, yeah. So she's new to NXT. Yeah,
right.
Stateside. Yeah. But yeah, it's recent that she just became champ. So yeah, I think this is her first championship defense, and she's going against Bianca Belair. And like I said at the top of the show, and I've been very critical. When I had watched in the past of Bianca Belair.
She went against Shayna Baszler, and she was getting hurt bad, Bianca Belair.
Yeah, and it's like I felt like when she had been there a year ago, she didn't deserve it. Like she wasn't ready. Like I'll have a rare agreement here was Sam Roberts, who said that in the
Yes.
pre-show.
Yes. And I got to give you credit, bud. You and Sam Roberts had the same connotation as far as he said what you said. And then he said, but now we'll see if she can take on Rhea Ripley. Or he might have said that because she was looking beyond her opponent, she was going to get taken down. So kudos.
Yeah, like we know Charlotte's in the picture now. and this is before we knew she was going to show up at the end of the match. I had a feeling she was going to, but I didn't know if she was going to interfere on a show where this was just strictly NXT. Like someone just said in the chat. Yeah, here I put it up there before I'll put it up there again. It was nice to see NXT on its own this weekend without WWE pay-per-views. I mean, it really showed the strength of a brand, which is another reason why I said, get the hell out of Full Sail. It's like there's nothing wrong with being attached to it for doing a handful of shows a year and giving people that educational experience outside of the wrestling aspect of things.
Right.
But man, if you're seriously going to put this brand up against AEW or anyone, it doesn't matter who, anyone else, same night, this brand, which a lot of people still consider it a developmental brand, even though it is on TV now.
No, you're right.
You gotta give it a fighting chance, which is why it's been losing for I don't know how many weeks in a row now. I don't think I have that many fingers. But anyways, but back to the women, we'll give them respect here. So Rhea Ripley defending against Bianca Belair. This match was not the highlight of the night. There was a couple of I hate to use the word botches because I don't want to consider it a botch. I feel like
I saw them with my eyes, so I know what you're talking about.
Like some suplexes didn't go right, and sometimes you could tell when suplexes are countered is one thing. It felt like some of these moves just didn't get put together well chemically wise. You know what I mean? The chemistry between the two, which didn't look good for either one. But that aside, still a decent match. Your thoughts on this?
So the first thing I'll say is it was too short. I was blown away at how quick it was done. But
I actually enjoyed that aspect of it because
you're like, yeah.
Well, some of these ran, and that's not an insult to them. It's just some of these ran really long, and I'm not, No,
I would agree with you.
Just sometimes some of these were just like, oh man, I can't believe this is over yet. It's good, but all right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you though, this is kind of stupid, but kind of good to point out. So I have never seen a wrestler with 5 foot long hair. The crowd thought that she was going to lose it in the ropes.
Oh yeah, sometimes when depending on what she's doing and how she's doing it, or a move that gets countered because of what she's doing, it's like, man, that has got to get in the way at times. I can't even fathom. I mean, yeah, because I'm follically challenged, so I'm not gonna understand how it is, but and I think that was one of the most critical things I had in seeing her over a year ago when I first started to see her. I'm like, how the hell can you wrestle with something like that?
Right.
It's hard enough just having a full head of hair like someone like Shawn Michaels back in the day, or Undertaker, or now a modern day, say, Adam Cole. Right.
Well, think of the weight.
Too.
Man, the weight that's just on your neck, pulling you.
Yes, that is huge weight on your neck.
I mean, it was, I don't know if I can give it justice. It was, sorry, I'm trying to get as straight as I can, and I'm not doing the best.
Oh, you're talking like circumference-wise.
Yeah, circumference of her hair, it was huge.
Oh,
it looked like a snake.
It's bigger than a bottle. Yeah, it's.
You could have cut it off, and it would have been a snake in the ring.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's I feel like someday it is going to be a hindrance for it, and it's the perfect reason for like a hair versus whatever match.
Oh yeah, oh
Um,
yeah. Everyone will show up to that one with the hair.
oh yeah, but as far as originality, I'll say I never seen anybody use hair as a weapon.
I know. And when I saw that, I have to tell you this quickly. It was the biggest welt. I mean, not only did you hear it, and it wasn't the microphones catching it, but it was legit. You literally saw a red line where it hit you. And I was like, that's worse than a kendo stick.
Oh yeah, it's a weapon. I don't understand how they can let her do that, let
Right.
alone wrestle with it, because you would think it would be such a hindrance. And
A liability.
yeah, exactly. I think that's the perfect term I was trying to think of. You get it caught in something, somebody uses it against you a little too harshly.
Right.
I mean, that can really, wreck your head up,
Oh, yeah.
head and or neck. But nonetheless, a decent match, not a highlight of the night.
Sure.
But what people will pull away from this overall is, Rhea Ripley won, and then at the end, the Queen shows up.
Exactly.
Tell people at home what the audience was like when the Queen showed up.
Man, I mean, just being real, it was like Ric Flair, because it was like everyone wanted to know the catchphrase, and they heard one person say woo, and they're like, woo, because they just wanted to help, throw acknowledgement. But man, it literally was crazy. I mean, I literally can see how I was watching the match. And then when the interference happened, and then it wasn't just an interference and we're out of here. I jumped over the wall, sidewall, whatever, the barrier, and took off in the crowd. No, I mean, she grabbed the mic and she's like, I couldn't hear it the best, but I could hear the mics, and you heard it. It was like, I accept your challenge at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And let me tell you just quickly, that is a WrestleMania moment, because not only this, but if you watch the post show, Triple H was like, for the first time, WrestleMania, NXT, Charlotte Flair will be going after that belt. And it's like, oh, it's got to be NXT was gold that night.
Yeah, I mean, that's putting over that brand in a big way. And it's also giving something
Huge.
original for Charlotte to do, because we've seen her against Sasha Banks. We've seen her against Becky. We've seen her against Bayley. And it's all classic stuff. But to go back to where you started, and help bring that. I mean, this has all been about putting over NXT since Survivor Series, because NXT is on the forefront. They got competition.
Right. Yeah,
on TV.
Right.
For the casual fan who only watches SmackDown and or only watches Raw, you got to give them a reason to watch. It'd be like, okay, you put them over at one of the big four of the year. Oh, maybe I'll have to start watching it, see what they got to bring.
Right.
And that's another reason why, when they show up at Full Sail and fans are watching this and they not watching several thousand people in the crowd, that's like loud as heck on a Raw or SmackDown audience, you got to get them the hell out of Florida.
Right. Yeah. J-Bone, can I go on record with one thing?
Yeah.
I believe that Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, even if they make it a three-way and have Bianca Belair or some other person in there, will not be the main event.
So you don't think it's going to headline this WrestleMania?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think it should either. I mean, she's done it, and it's not an insult to the women. There are just other matches that people want to see more and that deserve to be on that bigger platform and or headlining that bigger platform. And I feel like if there is any, and we still haven't seen over half the card yet, but so far, Brock versus McIntyre
Ooh, that's gonna
Lesnar versus McIntyre gets my vote.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I'm with you. I will say this though, because there's always a option C or B. If Vince
that's an Impact Wrestling.
I know I messed up.
But I'm sorry. Continue.
No, it's awesome. But oh my gosh, yep, Austin Aries. Where's Hogan? I'm just playing.
Hey, he'll be there. Aries not so much. Hogan will be there though.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Continue.
But yeah, no worries. So I really sense there might be a turn, and the turn is, you remember how I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. Vince said, Charlotte is my representative. Becky, you're out. And all of a sudden did that. And so then we got Becky, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte, which was Ronda Rousey made it. If Ronda Rousey, you guys can kill me later, but if Ronda Rousey was pulled from the match, I promise you it would not have given enough firepower to go main event with those two. And they're awesome. They are cutting edge awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the women's division was on a roll at that time, and it certainly helped to have Ronda Rousey there. But when you got a name that big in the world of sports entertainment, MMA, whatever you want to call the whole combo of wrestling world,
right?
Yeah, I mean, that certainly put that on the map.
So, J-Bone, if they replace Rhea Ripley and get some super heat that everyone's like, oh my gosh, she came from Japan. This is amazing. Some whatever. Asuka, times 2. And maybe put a 3 or just 2. Possible that they might try and do a main event on it.
Well, they got time for storytelling still.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like they got to do a ton between the two. There was rumors that Rhea Ripley was going to show up on Raw tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is going to certainly help that, and it's going to get people invested in her. The fan that watches Raw every week and maybe doesn't watch NXT is a perfect example. But yeah, people are going to get introduced with Rhea Ripley on a regular basis on a bunch of different shows,
Cool.
So yeah, Hakeem Fullerton is in the house. Do you guys think that Kathy Kelly may join Impact or AEW as a backstage interviewer following her NXT departure? I doubt it. I don't see that. I know she is a fan favorite, and she had a very emotional exit. I saw part of it. I'm not gonna jump on that train and be like, oh, she's definitely showing up somewhere else. No, I think she's got other stuff going on. I don't know how much she actually contributes to the world of WWE. I know she does a lot of backstage stuff. I know she does a lot of stuff from the offices when they're talking about certain news bits, and stuff like that. But no, I personally think she's got other opportunities afoot. I haven't heard anything else. Have you heard anything?
No, man, I definitely agree. I mean, I love Hakeem. It's always great to have that. What do you think of this? Dude, I think it'd be awesome to get her an Impact. And I know J-Bone loves Impact, so I don't think he'll have a problem with that. Or AEW, it's fine. I'll be open. But I totally agree with J-Bone, because when I saw her eyes looking at Triple H, it looked like he was her father. It was crazy.
Oh, and that's how, that's how he treats that brand. It's his child. It's his stuff,
Yeah.
So. Should I let you go? You okay?
Oh, me? Yeah. I'm 100% fine.
I can hear that in the background. I can hear that. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Yeah, as long as nobody's throwing anything, we'll keep you. It's like okay.
Gotta love kids.
Yes. So yeah, I don't think I'm not going to anticipate that. I haven't heard anything. I haven't read anything other than people just speculating on their own and throwing it out there for the people to talk about it, which I find it funny. But so, that's why we're fans. We talk about shit. So, but no, I don't. I think she's just got bigger stuff on her plate. That she has the opportunity to do stuff. I think that's what it is.
Can you help me?
Cool.
Please.
All right, couple matches left. We'll get out of here. We got.
Get out here. Cash shoot.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. Get out here.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, the joys of parenthood. It's all good. It's all good. I'm a parent. I get it. I'm not gonna, it's just funny. Kids sometimes. Kids are kids. It's all good. Hakeem, what's going on in the back? Zach, what is up? Throwing bowling trophies at J-Bones. It's not even me. It's not even me. It's we're live, pal.
I'm gonna kill Cashew.
Tim's gonna be cracking some skulls. No.
Exactly. Here they are right here.
Yeah, right. No, it's all good. I know what it's like to be a parent. It's all good. Don't worry about it. All right, so we continue. We've got what do we got here? Oh, this was crazy. The NXT Tag Team Championship on the line. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly defending against Dusty Classic winners. Now, I was not aware of this, so this was all new to me. This tag team, literally out of nowhere, like an RKO, visually for me. We've got Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, Bruiser Face himself. Oh no, what do they call them? The Broserweights. Because they won the opportunity to go after him. Now this might be one of the most one of the best odd couples I've ever seen in the world of professional wrestling. Sometimes when you throw people together and make a tag team, no matter what you let them do, it just doesn't come off like $1 million on TV or pay-per-view or what have you. But man, sometimes you put something, just for example, of something that really worked, a Kane and a Daniel Bryan together.
Who would have thunk?
And over time, you get a team like Hell No, just on fire. Pardon the pun. The whole, Kane on fire pun.
Yeah, now, Jay, you just have to do your little. Yeah.
Ooh, it's getting hot in here. But yeah, I saw one of the promos or a couple of the promos leading up to this of Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne trying to get on the plane. And by the way, I got to say the post-show skirmish, whatever they call it, with Kathy Kelly, and Triple H putting over the smoke issue on the plane on the way to the show was hilarious.
That was hilarious. I loved how he made that live. Like Kathy kind of looked at him like, we're on the air.
Like, oh, we're going there. Oh, we're going there. Yeah, like the captain's like, yeah, there was an issue with smoke in the plane, and I don't know, it smelled funny. And
that was awesome.
That was a riot. So yeah, a little reference to Matt Riddle's
bro,
his past with natural substances, casual use. Never mind.
We'll just have Mr. Bones demonstrate
the word. Oh no, I don't do that. It's been literally decades since I've done that. So I'm not going to say I haven't done it. It's just been a long time since I've done that, bro.
Bro.
But this match, I mean, and it really set up a huge question mark as to how the rest of the evening was going to go, as far as the storytelling was.
It was all about the Undisputed, Jay. And I have to say, if they lost their belts, hell hath no fury. You know what I mean? It's like dominoes. Were they all going to lose their belts?
Oh, yeah. And what does that say? Like, okay, does that mean they're going to go get called up to the main roster? Are they...
Right.
There's always that. Even though NXT is on TV now, I think there still is that question, you know?
Right.
Which I would expect them at some point to go to Raw or SmackDown. But those shows are already so loaded. I don't know. It's hard to say. But that opinion aside, excuse me, your thought on this tag team championship match?
Man, I want to chime in right away with the style. So we know Kyle O'Reilly, and we know he's, for NXT, he's with Bobby Fish in the Undisputed Era. And the point I want to make is Kyle versus, I don't even look at the tag team. I just look at the person that really made the style, Matt Riddle. Man, that was awesome. Because,
like that submission style.
Yeah, submission, MMA style. It was killer. It'd be like, hey.
The grappling. Yes.
Yeah, and you'd see that. You'd see him do a, choke hold, and then he would do like a Darce choke or something, which is more MMA. And just go kind of back and forth. And I got to talk about this. They had excellent chemistry, obviously Undisputed Era. But towards the end of the match, you might have seen this. Towards the end of the match, Pete Dunne and give me a second.
Riddle.
Thank you. Matt Riddle will really had good tag team, going on. Like I really noticed it towards the end. Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, they really were working good as a tag team and doing a lot of frequent tags.
Oh yeah.
In and out.
Yeah, it went back and forth. I mean, there was times when the Undisputed Era had that end of the ring chopped off in half, and that's classic tag team wrestling, is when you can chop that ring in half and not let the other guy tag.
Yeah.
And even though, so things started to what seemed to be falling apart for Riddle and Dunne. I got to get used to saying this name, I suppose. The Bros or weights.
It sounds weird.
You gotta say it weird, I guess, for it to make sense.
Sounds like some kind of clothing you wear. Like, man, that's like my undergarment.
All right.
So we'll forget that.
That's okay. That was funny. But yeah, they had a few hiccups where somebody ducked a clothesline and someone else got nailed by a spear or a lariat or whatever. And it's like, oh, they're not going to get the championship like this. Maybe that chemistry really isn't all there, because they made mistakes, or maybe they weren't there for the tag, for example,
Definitely in the beginning, I would agree.
Yeah. So it's, especially with looking at an odd couple like this, but Solo by themselves, they're so over. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
But would they be willing to take the next step, take it off the Undisputed Era, and let an oddball team like this run with it?
I know.
Can it work? It's always a big what if, It's a big it's a gamble, no matter who it is, it's always a gamble. And it looks like this one might pay off, at least for a while, because dude, I'm sure it was just as deafening on your end, you being there, but man, when Dunn and Riddle won this, oh my
no one expected it.
No, because I mean, I was saying, leading up to this, it's like, things started to fall apart a little bit, and seemed like Undisputed Era was gonna retain, which it might be the first for a Dusty Classic challenge. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and check. But the odds are the Dusty Classic winner usually gets the belts. So I'm like, okay, is this gonna be the first time it's not successful? But no, sure enough, Riddle and Dunn blew the roof off the place, dude.
Oh, yeah. People are going ballistic. And you could tell Matt Riddle, Pete Dunne, there might have been like, I don't want to say language barrier, but cultural barrier where, like he's used to NXT UK. And to put him with this young Spicoli guy that's like, hey, surf's up, dude. I mean, come on.
That's a perfect example. Spicoli. That's a perfect old school example of how Matt Riddle, Spicoli. That's perfect. I ordered a cheese pizza, man.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Yeah. I do want to bring this up, though, because one thing that was awesome to watch is Pete Dunne, as he would do the ligaments. He would grab the two fingers, and we're like, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. And then all of a sudden, he goes, and everyone's like, oh!
Oh, that always gets the crowd because the digits, whatever you call them. Yeah.
When he was doing some Shayna Baszler stuff where put the hand, here's the table, put the hand right here, and then, stepped on it, and then you got the whole ligament jerk, and everyone's like, ah!
Oh yeah. Where you kill this end, yeah. You're killing the elbow, trying to break the arm. Oh yeah. There was a lot of that, and hard hitting, but yeah, style wise, Riddle and Dunn are different. Both are hard hitting after a faction. You just have, clash of personalities. Dunn is like business from start to finish. Matt Riddle goes in pretty calm, pretty cool. But once that bell rings, actually, come to think of it, once that bell rings, they're actually both kind of similar. As far as like getting the job done,
Yeah. Here's something interesting, Jay. This is what I think of. I think of Pete Dunne, 2 years. 2 years. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. But 2 years he held on to that NXT title. He finally went with Walter. I honestly
was a long damn time. You're pretty close, yeah. Between a year to 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly remember thinking he had a chance, not at first, but that he was going to win the match and retain. And so when Walter took it from him, if I put Matt Riddle in the same match, no way. Everyone's going to be like, dude, your pizza just got, smashed.
burnt.
Burnt, exactly.
Some people like burnt pizza. No.
Pauly Shore would be saying, "We used to juice." Yeah, weasel. Yeah.
I love the weasel. Oh God, what a flashback. Oof. Just like I just lost about 20 brain cells on that one. Oof. All right.
Reeling it back.
I have to go watch Biodome after this.
Oh, wow.
Great stuff.
So, yeah, go for it, man. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, here's the cool one coming up.
Oh, I love Pauly Shore. It's what a flashback. All right. So, yeah, crazy tag match. Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, your new NXT tag team champions. Big question on what comes next for the Undisputed Era. But man, usually no matter what they face, they kill it. You know, they're cocky. They go in all guns blazing. You know,
J-Bone, can we go on record super quick?
Yeah.
Insane. I talked to you about factions before. We're talking about the Undisputed Era. Love them, hate them, crooked, whatever you want to, put these guys in. These guys can flat out go. And I've seen them go against the main roster, and they've knocked them down. And, and what makes them amazing is their consistency. They'll take a guy like you, and they'll have two people go on you. And they'll get you so weak that they'll work on the next guy. So instead of you being able to get up and going after them, you have to recuperate.
Oh yeah, and they've been doing that. They've been that team's been tight. With or without Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish have been tight for years. New Japan running, Ring of Honor, that kind of style all over the world. That is a well-oiled machine. You can't just look at their size and or age and be like, what do these guys got? No, these guys are legit badass.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't take long to figure that out. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what's next. But man, the whole Riddle and Dunn team, that's going to be some. I wasn't a big fan. I'll just quick mention this, and then we'll move on to the main event. I wasn't a big fan of the how many fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish, and then he repeated it 3 times, and then Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish ran and clobbered him and dragged him to the ring. I was like, okay, I'm sure this is going to be the only low point of the match for me, because I was like, okay, I'm okay with having some comedy. I like some Joey Ryan. I like some Johnny Swinger. I even like some, a past name real quick, like Fandango or Elias, whatever. I'm good with that.
Right.
But this was a little okay, you could have done it once and it would have been enough.
Too many Rizats.
Too many something.
Exactly.
I hope he didn't get tested that night, but nonetheless. But yeah, tremendous match. That kind of was just weird, But I was over it quick because the match was so damn good, So
yeah, definitely.
So all right, main event time. We got the NXT championship. The NXT championship. Oof, not enough coffee today, apparently. Adam Cole defending against local favorite from around here, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
Man, first of all, that promo. Oh, yeah, here, another good example. Disco Inferno, yeah. Jive talking. Yes, absolutely. Man, I've been following Tommaso's journey for the last several years. And even though I haven't watched NXT that much, man, he's still one of my favorites. And to see him lose everything hand it over, go through what he went through with his neck surgery, and make the comeback that he has got to be one of the biggest comebacks in the last decade. That just man, it's on the top of the heap. It's emotional. It's gut wrenching to watch,
Right.
especially if you're a family guy. You get everything that he went through. Because it's not just, okay, my wrestling career is really questionable. It's me against the world. No, you got a family to support. You got all these what ifs in your future. It's just been a crazy journey to watch. And to see him get back to this stage, man, it just seemed like all cylinders were firing, and it was his chance to get Goldie back. Your thoughts on Cole versus Ciampa?
Oh man, what a good end of the night. I mean, this one. It was the longest match. I mean, my God, we looked at the time, we looked at when the match was over, and we're like, holy crap. But to give you input on the match, so you got Adam Cole, baby, and he's not wanting to lose his NXT title. A lot of people were thinking he was, because the same thing you said, that he was going to the main roster. But I just told him to shut up. I wanted to see it play out.
Well, and I'm just saying, the tag team match before it does put a lot of question marks in your head. It's like, okay, is all of Undisputed Era going to have these kind of odds against them tonight and be unsuccessful?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But Tommaso Ciampa, the thing that was in my head when I was watching it is his psychology. I mean, he would go,
oh yeah, he gets the pop from the crowd. He gets fired up, and
yeah. And Johnny Gargano, he's a good wrestler, but he, when he went against Ciampa, that was one of the strengths Ciampa had. He had the psychology. He's like, oh, I'll slip out of the ring now. I'll have you think that I'm here to beat up. And he had that. And what's interesting, what I'm talking about, man, is when you go to Adam Cole, man, this guy's heel all the way. So for a fact he's all about psychology and don't touch the hair and stuff. And
I know nothing about that. No, I was kidding.
But I mean, that part right there, and I know that he addressed that on the pre-show. You remember that? They talked about how the psychology of Ciampa, that's going to be, a missile that he doesn't look for, and it's going to really get Ciampa momentum.
That promo that he cut by himself in the conference room of NXT. Referencing to, X amount of days before when he had to turn over Goldie to Triple H because he had neck surgery.
Right.
And I've watched that a few times, and I get choked up. It's hard to watch. If you're a fan of wrestling and you see something like then that's real stuff. That's not Bobby Heenan showing up with the neck brace. This is real life, and it touches you. So to watch that promo going into this, man, you can't help but cheer for Ciampa if you're an old school wrestling fan. That's great storytelling. It did not hurt to have that.
Yeah. I think you nailed it right there, J-Bone. They had good storytelling, even in the match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cole got his ass handed to him the first, I don't know how many minutes of the match, first 15, 20 minutes was solid. That, him just on a roll, he's on his way out, and then Cole turned it around. As soon as Ciampa had that wheelbarrow suplex
Oh gosh.
into the table, and it landed just below the collarbone.
Right.
And he's sitting there, he's like wincing, and he's reaching, and yeah, that probably took the wind out of a lot of people watching that at home and or live.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can tell you, I want to speak to that for a little bit. Whenever they went after the announcer desks and they tried clearing them off, whether they were successful or not, everyone was nail biting like, holy crap,
Yeah.
don't kill him.
Oh yeah, whenever it's something as iconic of an injury, like, you know, Tommaso getting that neck fusion or whatever, you know, he had.
Right. That was no joke.
And you take a bump like that, or he's, you know, kicking you when you're down, anything like that, man, you wince and you gasp, and it
Right.
just, it's hard to watch, but you can't stop watching.
Right.
And that second half of that match was really hard to watch. And even though Ciampa did come back a handful of times, and of course the dogs come out, you can call them whatever you want.
I know what you're talking about.
OVE, you know, we call them the Jackals and Impact Wrestling, Undisputed Era. You can call them the Dogs, whatever, you know.
Right.
That pack comes out, and they don't play nice.
No.
And the odds are against them. And it's like, oh, it'll make that win of Ciampa's even sweeter, is what you're thinking as he's starting to overcome them all.
Right.
And then finally he gets some help. Johnny Gargano, best friend, family, shows up. Continue.
Sorry, man. I got pulled into the storytelling here.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, you go ahead and tell them what happened.
So, yeah. Oh, okay.
Gargano shows up.
Yes. Sorry. I just heard hold the dogs. Heard the dogs, hold the dogs, heard the dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, what happened? Okay, Johnny Gargano shows up. And again, storytelling, because Triple H brought it up in the post show. He held his title, and then Johnny Gargano pulls it into him, looks at him, isn't wavering, isn't moving. They're like, what the hell is this? And then when I think he jerked it out of Ciampa's hands, and he just smacked him with it. I got to go on record, folks, saying, what in the hell? I know they want to do storytelling, but you cannot end the monster Ciampa going down that way.
Oh, yeah. It rocked a lot of emotions, mine included. I was on the edge of my seat waiting for a local guy to get that crown back, to get Goldie back.
Right. Yeah.
And then Gargano turns on him, turns heel.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was hard. That was so hard, because you know the history there. And now it looks like Gargano is getting a little payback, you know, or maybe the demon from earlier in the evening possessed him a little.
Right. Oh, yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I gotta go here though, J-Bone. The fact that he went too quick as a heel turn. I gotta go on record saying it. They went too quick. They should have really juiced and marinated the good Johnny again.
So you think it should have? You think it all happened too quick?
Yeah, because think about it: Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, Ciampa doesn't come out. Why would he come out? Makes no sense. But then, you know, it's for the NXT title. So now we want eyes to flock to, you know. Yeah. And I'll tell you, I want to back up just a tad.
Okay.
We as the crowd knew, like you know, would say with OVE, if Sammy's not showing up, but you know he's here, he's coming out at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we thought the guy that used to have the North American title, NXT or Undisputed Era.
Roderick Strong.
Thank you, Roderick Strong. We were like, okay, we've seen Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, you know, Bebe, Adam Cole. Thank you. And then Roderick Strong. We knew Roderick Strong was going to make a move of coming out, but we were like, what the hell is taking forever? Because literally it was like, holy crap, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. We're like, is he going to do it then? And everyone, dude, this is the best thing to tell you. Everyone was up on their heels going, I thought Adam Cole was going to retain, but I have no flipping clue now. And,
I mean, they really made you wonder after everything was going on. And then especially when Johnny Gargano shows up to someone to finally help Ciampa, and then the turn on him, like, what? Everybody. But, you know, Gargano has been a heel in the past. Not many people know that about, because he's been heel on the indies before, where he's been like the cocky champ or the cocky heel or whatever. So we're getting Gargano and Ciampa again. I was like, at first I was like, but you know, they've done some incredible storytelling. I'm okay with it.
Right.
There's no prize on the line yet. There might be. We'll have to see where this goes.
Right. I got to ask you, J-Bone, and you don't have to answer it now. You can type back to your listeners. But one thing I was seeing with WWE or NXT, if we want to be focused with NXT, is, but I see it more with WWE. They just do too many breaks from a pin. So, like, and I've heard people tell me, you know, like, yeah, old school was what, maybe 2 or 3 and you're pinned, you know, if they try and pin you. Now, I'm serious, man. Take me up on this. Take one match, that last match with Ciampa, and I bet you will see 7 close calls in the match, maybe 8. And I was like, dude, that's a little too much, but maybe I'm wrong. Prove me wrong, listeners.
I think it depends on the length of the match too. There's a lot of different factors that go into it.
Gotcha.
But I hear you. You know, sometimes the back and forth can be a little one move, pin attempt, one move, pin attempt, one move, pin attempt. Sometimes, it is a little ridiculous. Like it's like too choreographed, not enough storytelling. Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes, it is. Yeah. So but overall, you know, and I hear people saying that this is possibly you could put it in the top 3 best takeovers. It's so hard because the talent is there, and they usually do hit home runs with these.
Right.
With you know, little to no air as far as the hotness or ratings of the matches or whatever. This was a damn good, you know.
Right.
The card was great. The crowd was hot. That Portland crowd, you know, they hadn't had that kind of attendance for a WWE event in over a decade, they said.
Right. I heard that.
I don't know what the attendance was there. Did anybody say the attendance?
No, I need to get the numbers and get them for you.
I was just curious because, you know, I don't know the size of the arena. But,
I can tell you, I think it should hold. Don't quote me, listeners, because this is off the cuff. But I think I'll say 13, probably 12,000. Someone said 14,000, but that seems like no. So
that could be. I mean, you know, you got a hot brand that hasn't come back to an area in a long time. You get a lot of people flocking to it. Could be, you know.
Yeah.
That crowd was I mean, it came off well on TV. I'll say that. Sometimes, you know, crowds are like, you think they're dead, but they actually weren't dead, you know.
Right.
It did sounded good. So So, any final thoughts about this show that you attended live at?
I can just say, in case you haven't gone to a live wrestling show, Jay knows this too. The commentators are not going to talk to you. You're going to hear smash, 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 smash. You're not going to hear wrestlers talking out of their side chat. You're just going to hear smash, smash, smash. So if you're into the action, and one other thing I'll tell you guys, you definitely want to look at the main ring. It's so tempting to look at the TV, but just, watch the whatever you're watching on TV so you can see that, but you can't see the ring. That's your perspective that you bring.
Yeah. Orlo in the chat says, I heard they had 2,500. That sounds low.
That's way low.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
We love you, Orlo, but it's a little too low.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, if two layers of a 15,000 plus arena were full, that's no.
Yeah. Like you said, yeah, absolutely.
And it looked like a bigger arena too, not like one of the old school ones that only had a couple levels. So
yeah, because the old one was the Rose Garden, and so we have the Rose Garden, and that's kind of old school. And then WWE wants the best, and Moda Center. Hey guys, I have to go on record telling you this. At the end, I looked where the computers were. Man, it looked like they're gonna launch a darn satellite shuttle. I go, is that yours or WWE's? They're like, that's NXT. So I was like, holy crap, they got racks and racks and racks and racks. It looked like they were, sending someone to space.
oh, like production wise, like
yeah, production computers off the side. Yeah.
Yeah, for a size show that big, oh yeah, you're gonna see that. Absolutely. Yeah. They have that for Raw, SmackDown, and now in a place like this for NXT, absolutely it's gonna be, yeah.
Cool.
Aaron Jack says, you guys looking forward to WrestleMania season in a few months? Dude, it's WrestleMania season right now. We're on the road, man. It's interesting. I'm not completely vested because I've been out of touch with the product for a long time, but there's a few things that are catching my eye. I'm not going to lie, but we'll talk about that at another date. Zach Bonifer says 9,300. That might be closer.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that being the amount that was there.
I would guess close to 10,000 with the sound of it.
Right.
What came off live on the network.
Yeah. I'll put it to you this way, J-Bone. I've been to other wrestling shows, and when I walked in this, huge dome, it's not a dome, but people know the Moda Center. So when you go in the Moda Center, man, it put you into another life. Like everyone was engaged and like, whoa, and you just realize you were part of that world. You're in a new world.
Oh yeah, I mean, if the crowd is lit, you can't help but be engaged along with it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I could tell you this too, real quick, J-Bone. I would hear one comment from one fan be like, "Bask in his glory" or something, and then all of a sudden it made its way and started truncating all the way up and had thousands of people singing it.
Oh yeah, right in the beginning there.
Yeah,
when they were getting hyped for the beginning of the match, and Keith Lee just stopped and just kind of acknowledged it. Yeah, that was exciting. Yeah, that had to he that's got to freeze you for a minute as a wrestler, just like for the first time hearing something like that. Man, it's got to make you speechless and make you proud, like, wow, we made it to this. That's pretty cool, even if you don't headline like your own WrestleMania, which I think he could someday. I think he is that caliber of a, wrestler, but yeah.
Probably not this year, but that's just me being a jerk. I hope I hope he gets it this year.
I don't think. I mean, I certainly believe he'll be a part of the weekend, part of WrestleMania, though. No, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I'd say within the next 5 years, depending on health and everything, he could certainly headline a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say this quickly. I asked some people that were diehard NXTs. EC3, get the hell out. Get used. Go to a place that will use you properly. Impact. I mean, I didn't say that.
Oh, you're not the only one, dude. Yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of people that would wish that they did at least use him on NXT, but he's just sitting at home getting a paycheck, I guess.
Yeah, cool.
So doing his own thing on YouTube, which is entertaining, but
Yeah.
I'd rather see him in the squared circle.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, Tim, for joining me on this and bringing your live perspective to this NXT TakeOver review. Like Zach said, use them, period. Exactly. If you got anything you want to plug, by all means, you have the floor to do that.
Guys, you can check me out on my website, don'tgiveupguitar.com. You can check me out on my I'm on the Twitter communications, so Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I'll stop there. I'll shoot J-Bone a link and he can add if he would like, and if not, no big deal. Yeah,
just look up all things Tim Bischoff right here. There we go.
There you go.
As long as you spelled it correctly, just look up Tim Bischoff.
Yes, I did. and thanks again, J-Bone. Thanks again, guys. I got to give 100%. You don't know J-Bone, and I'm not going to embarrass him, but this guy is legit. He's the real deal. So if you guys have been, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. If you guys have been chintzy and you have been, 1 day on, 1 month on, 1 year on, 2 weeks on, come on, guys. Think of J-Bone as food. Everyone needs food every day. So when it comes to the time he has it on, seriously, just do him. And it's not even for him. It's just, this is his passion and his love. Check out his stream.
Thank you, Tim. You're going to get me all choked up, man. I've never been referred to as nutritional before, but there you go. I'll take it. I will take it. Thank you very much. Much love, dude. So thanks again for joining. And on your way out, folks, don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so let you know when more of my content hits your screen. I can only do that much because if I go over here, then I hit Tim in the header. I don't want to do that. So, all right. Thanks, folks. Good night. In less than a half an hour, jump over to the OG channel where Trent and I are going to be going way back and reviewing some NWA TNA. We are doing episode number 10. Join us over there in a little bit. See you, folks.